UK Prime Minister Theresa May barely survived a no-confidence vote by just 19 votes Wednesday, a day after lawmakers rejected her Brexit deal by a historic margin. Now, earlier, the Prime Minister spoke outside 10 Downing Street.
I believe it is my duty to deliver on the British people's instruction to leave the European Union, and I intend to do so. So now MPs have made clear what they don't want. We must all work constructively together to set out what Parliament does want. That's why I'm inviting MPs from all parties to come together to find a way forward. One that both delivers on the referendum and can command the support of Parliament. This is now the time to put self-interest aside.
The pressure's on. May now has until Monday to come up with a plan B. Now, as the UK enters its deepest political crisis in about half a century, America is beginning to realize how big of an impact Brexit could have on the U.S. and its economy. The UK is the fourth largest export destination for U.S. goods and services, and Britain leaving the EU could impact everything from the agricultural sector to manufacturing. For more on this, Patrick Temple-West is a financial services reporter for Politico, and he's joining us now from Washington. First, Patrick, in your piece you wrote that the U.S. is more exposed to Brexit and the fallout than any other country outside Europe. Explain that. Explain why.
That's right. Because of the financial sector, U.S. banks and other financial companies have long-standing relationships with London, the global financial hub. The UK is about the fifth largest economy in the world, so the United States was already interconnected with the financial sector through London.
Now, U.S. companies have said that a hard Brexit would be detrimental to certain industries. First, can you kind of explain what they mean by hard Brexit and which industries could be impacted the most?
The financial services could be impacted specifically because the same situation, the same conditions occurred during the U.S. financial crisis of 2008, when we had complex financial instruments and uncertainty. When Lehman Brothers declared bankruptcy, the regulators didn't know all the consequences that had. A no-deal Brexit could set off the same set of uncertainties that the financial companies can't predict, that the U.S. regulators can't predict and can't anticipate. So that's why a no-deal Brexit, a situation where the UK crashes out of Europe without a deal on March 29th, is the worst-case scenario at the moment.
Is that what they mean by like a hard Brexit, and that's why it could be a problem?
Hard Brexit is a Brexit deal that has some conditions, but at least it would be a plan. The soft Brexit is what the financial industry wants: keep as much of the UK in the EU as possible. A hard Brexit would be more aligned with what the Brexiteers of Britain wanted when they voted to leave originally.
And moving past the economics part, this could also impact foreign policy and how the U.S. works with Europe to track, let's say, terrorists, for example. Explain what could happen.
Well, it really comes back to the financial sector. The U.S. economy intertwined with the UK, and as the uncertainties mount, with the uncertainties in how Brexit is going to be negotiated, that's where the U.S. could really be vulnerable to a no-deal Brexit or a chaotic Brexit situation. As you heard, Prime Minister May is continuing to keep her promise that the UK would break with the EU on March 29th. However, it remains to be seen how she plans to do that. Now, we've seen her extend open negotiations to a wider array of political parties. Mm-hmm. This is similar to in the U.S. when Speaker John Boehner was in control of Congress, and the Tea Party was reluctant to refused to go along with him. He expanded his vote count to see if he could do a deal with some moderate Democrats. That's the same situation that's going on in the UK right now. And if the deal continues to be in jeopardy as it is right now, that's where the U.S. is vulnerable.
Now, in the past, President Trump has said Brexit is a good thing. Are there any advantages away from the economic sector for the U.S. if there is a Brexit?
Down the road, yes, but in the short term, it's all uncertainty right now. Potentially, as the UK, as the voters to leave the European Union hoped, the UK would be a stronger country without its exposure to the European Union, which they believed was an albatross dragging down the UK. The UK can break away from that. It can do bilateral trade deals and other relationships with the U.S., and that could potentially be a strength, could be a benefit for the United States and the UK. But that would be years down the road.
The financial capitals of New York and London, of course, keeping a close eye on this. Patrick Temple West, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.